Okay, Raman, welcome to our new episode of Anyvisa Talks. We're talking to people who actually came to Canada at some point, immigrants of first generation,
Yeah.
and we're trying to explore one simple subject. Is it too scary to move? How you felt then, how you feel now, and looking back, do you feel like you would do that again if you were young and naive, I guess?
Yeah.
So coming to Canada, when was it for you?
Oh man, it was ages ago. Yes,
Okay.
26 years ago.
36 years ago.
26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay. 26 years ago makes it okay. No, fair enough. It's very turbulent time around the world. I remember that, and it's we're talking about 97, something
Yeah,
like that.
97,
Yeah. So definitely interesting time. But growing up back in India, you heard about Canada? A plan to move to Canada?
No, we heard about Canada and definitely United States, but never planned actually. Funny story behind this one.
Okay, tell us.
One of my roommate, I did engineering back that time in 1993. So 95, he moved to my city where I was working, and he was going to apply for 3 different countries: Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
Okay.
And he took me along, and one place they were giving a free application for Canada immigration.
Was it free? Okay.
So because it was free, he said, "Okay, you take it too," and then I took it. And
That's a real Indian way of free. I can take it.
I could take
Sign me up. Yeah.
And
okay.
I spoke to my parents that time. I'm only son, so I think it's a big deal for them to send somebody that far away.
Right.
But I think it was destiny, so Canada chose me, and look at that.
Okay.
And a couple of months later, when I applied, I was here.
Oh my God! So it was fast, but was it like stressful? What was the first impression about Canada?
No, it was stressful because you had a very stable job back home, and then you come here, you don't have a job, different social structure, different financial structure. But I think if you have a dreams, you want to do something, and that's what you do. And I think that's what we did. It was not that hard, I would say. Somehow, but eventually I found a way where I wanted to be, and then.
Well, I never met a person who said to me like it was flawless, it was stress-free. I just moved from one place to another. Even moving within Canada for people from one province to another, from one city to another, is like a big stress. But in terms of your touch point on Canada, 2 months later after your application, you got approved and you're ready to go. Was it, by the way, winter time?
So that's another thing. So we applied, and by the time we got approved, it was October.
Okay.
So 96, and then we were getting ready to come here on November, and then eventually what happened? My in-laws, they told me, no, you shouldn't go into this winter because we were planning to come to Toronto.
Were they worried about you or your wife?
Both, I guess. I guess
Okay.
both at that time, and it was winter actually. First winter for a person like me who came from hot country. I think it was a very wise decision. We postponed.
It was very wise.
5-6 months later we came. So I would say if somebody's coming from that country, they should come in the spring and onwards.
Actually, very good point. We always advise people to plan right, especially when government gives some opportunity time-wise. Like they can move briefly if it's winter time and they have to do this, like landing, it has limited time sometimes. Opportunity is closing, but at the same time, people sometimes leave and return for what we call permanent residency, permanent settlement during spring, winter time, which is better for accommodation. I remember one client arrived from Africa, never saw snow. It was right before Christmas, so it was just unbelievable. And it was in November, not even Calgary, Toronto. It just was here.
Well, talking with snow, I tell you one other thing. It was 24th April 1996. April. We're talking about spring.
Yeah.
That year it was snowing in Toronto, and I didn't have a conveyance. I didn't have a car. I was bringing my groceries home in the snow, and that was my first experience, second week in Canada.
But you stayed. You
yes,
didn't leave.
absolutely.
Okay, you didn't get scared. Okay, good. So you touch base on one of the kind of difficult points for. And by the way, that's a common misconception that if you relocate, the only thing that you need to do just work. But sometimes you have some dream in terms of business, some plans, some ideas. For you, what was a journey from regular employment, let's say, for someone, and then you just start exploring something else?
Yes, I think I was an engineer when I moved here. My wife was an engineer. So for us, it was easy for us to find a job. But that time, like you mentioned, in 1986, it was not that easy the way opportunities are now. So 97, 98, it took me a while to understand the whole structure of Canada. How should I work here and what kind of industry I should go into it. So I decided to do some studies. So I was an engineer. I wanted to do something on IT side. So I did that.
Makes sense.
I found a job, didn't work out. Then I went into business, and that worked out very well. And eventually, the way I got into the financial industry later on, that was awesome because opportunity was there. Whenever I got it, I grabbed that opportunity and then worked on it.
Well, that's the old saying: if opportunity you let it go, it goes to somebody else.
Yeah,
right? So,
absolutely.
No, it's a good thing. You followed your instinct, I would say, and so you settle now. You're looking back, and I guess you don't feel sorry about moving here.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and staying here, raising your family, definitely give you a better perspective of the world. And I think we all have to look back at some point and help our countrymen just say, okay, listen, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of trying yourself in a new environment. And if you meet someone who is, let's say, in your situation 26 years ago and got paperwork, have few months to move, plan, what would you recommend that person to do?
I think they should look into their own set of skills, what they can do. That's one thing, and they can improve on. When they come here, they can do the same kind of job or a business, whatever they want. Or if they haven't followed their passion, then they should start here. Whenever you come here as an immigrant, actually I take it as you are taking a new birth. And that time you are starting from a scratch. So if you haven't followed anything, your passion back home, you can do it here.
It's like an accelerated reincarnation.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're speaking in the Hindu now.
Okay. So you have a chance to make it again, and if you haven't done something and you always wanted to do it, do it. Come here and grab that set of skills and just do it. And
especially now with this internet availability, people used to kind of talk to former neighbors trying to find, like back in the 90s, I remember no internet. You call someone if you're lucky and you ask for something and they probably will tell you, but by the time it's like, it's all behind, right?
Information was traveling very slow. Now, very fast.
Yeah, exactly. And
so today they can find out what they are looking for, which area they want to settle in, and what they want to do there. They want to go. They want to come in BC, Alberta, Ontario, wherever. And then they, according to the circumstances, they can suit. Like they can pack up that way so that they can bring the stuff with them. They can study that way so that they can bring that set of skills.
Actually true. And from the same perspective, if we're talking about different generations of people, young people who come in here, especially from India, a lot of people come in to study, and then they plan to stay. I know that sometimes we offer clients what we call business avenue, and I think sometimes it's better for them than to study. How you assess the whole process of education? Do you think to implement what you, let's say, receive in India, can you transfer that knowledge into Canada and start working, or you need to have local degree for sure?
It helps. It helps a lot. Like if you are bringing some degree and then eventually you want to work in a special industry, you need to have some education from here.
Right.
You'll get some. So that exposure is, I think, is very, very important to have. While doing any other kind of job, you can upgrade yourself. So that's what we did. My wife did and I did. We had a daytime job. Evening we used to study, or morning we were studying. Evening we're doing a job. So do that, and I think sky's the limit.
It's a very good phrase. And what was the limit for you? You are now running a very successful business. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. I deal with health, wealth, and education, and that's what we are
very good
dealing with. So, in a nutshell, we are a financial planner. So, my team and I, we deal with all Canadians for their retirement and pension plans.
Fair enough. A lot of people getting retired.
For the protection side of it, when they buy a home, they need to have protections. We do that. So, on the health side, we give them a health plans. And always on RESP, which is basically when kid comes here, any couple come here, their kids take education, we plan for their education plan. So basically financial planning, retirement planning, and pension planning.
And I think it's very, very convincing for our clients, for example, our audience who watching this around the world. Before they come here, they have probably kids certain age. I know that in Canada we started this, but it was like 25 years ago. Canadian support, government support for RESP, for example, education fund, is definitely education plan. It's something that people probably never heard in their home countries.
Correct.
But Canada helps with some contribution, which is helpful, and you kind of facilitate all this, try to help people to plan right, because, well, I guess the old saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's probably what you do. You help people and start with planning, and that's
when you come here, you make a lot of you tend to make a lot of money, and when you make a lot of money, you have to pay a lot of taxes, and you need somebody like us who will plan how to pay less taxes and how to plan.
Don't avoid it, optimize it.
Optimize.
That's
absolutely.
That's perfect. That's
you need our services on that.
Exactly. Well, this is great. I think you helping a lot of people on this side of the border. We helping them on that side of the border, and together we can probably make it even more successful journey for people. And thank you very much for sharing your experience. It's just unbelievable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.